Now on Coast TV News.
Vacation rentals frozen.
There never should have been a moratorium.
That is one reaction what is about to occur in Ocean City, how officials there are preparing to limit the number of short-term rentals.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. We had a pretty gusty cold front that pushed through overnight. We're seeing the last of the showers exit the coast. A bright, breezy Monday, and the latest on a cool, dry stretch of weather to end the week.
Algae action ahead. The challenges South Bethany continues to face and what to expect today, and an update on the town's canal situation.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Melissa Weber. It is Monday, October 20th, 2025.
I imagine Eagle fans are happy. Our first alert meteorologist, Chris Masterbono, is probably very happy about his birds. Not sure how to gauge you with the team that you root for. I guess I root for them too.
The Cleveland Browns?
Yeah.
To quote my dad in our group chat last night,
yes.
A win is a win. A win is a win.
Yeah. It's
yes.
2 wins out of
Doesn't
what is
matter if it
likely
was
a
Miami.
4-win season. Okay.
A win is a win. You know what? Waking up on a Monday after the Browns play when we won, it's a rare
Better
occasion.
than a loss.
It's a rare occasion.
All right.
It absolutely.
Well, we go to
Good
first
morning,
alert
Chris.
meteorologist Chris Masterbono with a look at the forecast. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Matt and Elise. Yeah, it was a good weekend for our football teams, the Eagles and Browns. As we take a live look into Ocean View, we had a rather strong cold front that pushed through overnight. We're at 58 right now there in Ocean View. Winds are out of the west, and you can see the last of the showers pushed off the coast, and we're beginning to dry out. We have a few residual showers there pushing through Kent County, making their way towards Smyrna and Dover, but most of the heaviest stuff is now off the coast. Cold front is off the coast as well. We had a brief window there late last night where we had an opportunity for a chance of a severe storm, but that threat has now come to an end. We are looking at this area of low pressure pushing up into county. You can see some heavier rains extending through central Pennsylvania upwards to central New York. Right now we're gusting to 23 Indian River Inlet, and those gusts are going to be picking up throughout the afternoon today. We're holding at 56 in Seaford, 57 Laurel, 56 Milford, and we are at 58 in Rehoboth Beach. So it's going to be a dry morning once we get the last of the showers off the coast, and we are looking at temperatures starting off in the 50s, showers ending, and those skies are going to be clearing, and we're going to see plenty of sunshine through the morning and afternoon. It's going to be a beautiful day. Not as warm as where we were yesterday in those mid-70s, and it will be quite breezy. As I mentioned, those winds out of the west sustained anywhere between about 15 to 20 with some gusts upwards of 30, 35. We're up to 61 by around your lunchtime, and we'll top out in the mid-60s across Delmarva this afternoon. Now, as we get as we push into Tuesday, we're actually going to see some milder air kick back in ahead of another cold front that's going to be pushing through late tomorrow night into Wednesday morning. And behind that front, we're looking at some rather cool, dry weather from mid to late week. A nice autumn stretch of weather is going to kick in as we push through the week here, and we'll break it more down in the full 7-day forecast a little later on in the newscast. Matt.
Okay, Chris. And we do have breaking news this morning. Many of the world's biggest apps, including Snapchat, Duolingo, Zoom, and Ring, they've gone down in what appears to be an issue affecting Amazon Web Services. Now, here's what we have learned since we last brought this to you. Amazon Web Services first reported a problem just after 3 this morning and said it was dealing with an operational issue affecting 14 different services at its center in Northern Virginia. As we move on, later today, Ocean City's government appears to be moving closer to keeping short-term rentals in check. Later today, the Ocean City Council will have its first reading of an ordinance that extends the town's current short-term rental moratorium until 2027. Back in January, council members enacted an 11-month pause on handing out licenses for short-term rentals in residential neighborhoods and mobile home areas, banning any new licenses from being issued until January 3rd of 2026. Well, now the council wants to extend that moratorium by a full year, and it's a move not sitting well with some people we spoke to.
There never should have been a moratorium. The facts never called for a moratorium. There are very few problems that exist, and we should work on fixing those. There's bigger problems in this town.
Miller there was a leading voice in the recent referendum that reversed the town's short-term rental restrictions. The rules would have required a 5-night minimum stay starting in this year. 31 nights by 2027 would have applied to all residential and mobile home areas. Mayor Rick Meehan has defended these types of restrictions, saying they help preserve the character of Ocean City's neighborhoods and protect homeowners from excessive rental activity. Council meets tonight at 6.
It was just last week the issue of short-term rentals came up in Lewis. It ties into the city's policy on accessory dwelling units, or ADUs. The city says there are several existing ADUs that are being used as short-term rentals. According to the city, those people are breaking the rules because the code states that property owners must live in one of the units. And this summer in Milton, the town council passed an ordinance defining short-term rentals like Airbnbs as residential dwelling units that are rented for 30 consecutive days or fewer.
In South Bethany, later today, we should learn more about the town's canal situation. It was back in May, South Bethany looked into a pilot program to address algae in canals. The program would add a product into the water to reduce phosphorus levels. The town's Canal Water Quality Committee meeting later this morning to review water data and the final draft of the State of the Canals report.
This morning, a 36-year-old Harbison man is facing 4 weapon and drug-related felony charges following a multi-mile car chase. Troopers say they were dispatched Saturday afternoon to a business complex in Harbison for a man who seemed under the influence or medically ill. Delaware State Police say when they approached Ryan Doniker, he drove away erratically and continued to do so for several miles. Troopers say they finally caught up with him after using stop sticks on Gravel Hill Road, at which point they say Doniker got out of the car with a pepper ball gun, but he dropped it on command. He was committed to Sussex Correctional Institution on a $24,401 secure bond.
Got another drug-related arrest to tell you about. This one involves a 58-year-old Millsboro man. According to police, the man, John Bender, was dealing drugs from his house, and troopers say they saw the dealing at the home on Captain's Way. After a months-long investigation, Bender was arrested. He was found with meth.
The Cape Henlopen School District continues to await an answer from the state government on its certificate of necessity. The big request is expanding the high school in Lewis. Last year, the district put forth referendums for new work to help meet the needs of a growing enrollment. The referendums were rejected by voters. Cape's new superintendent says the expansion goals are still there, but paying for it is likely several years away.
Saying right now there's not money in the queue for capital projects for fiscal year 26 or 27. So we put in the CN just to keep our spot in the line, because what we're afraid of is if we take it out, then other districts will pop in and it'll put us to the end of the line when it comes to funding and when we can afford it as a state to start approving capital projects again.
All right. You can hear more on Noman's approach to the district and her views on Delaware's educational ranking during an interview with her tonight on CoastTV News at 6.
Tonight in Dagsboro, people living there could see an increase in some fees if the town council takes action. Here's what they're looking at their meeting on Monday. Impact fees. Now, currently, the town's impact fee is $2,500 for each new residential dwelling unit. They're also looking at increasing permit fees. All new construction having a value of $300 or more needs a building permit.
Tonight in Lewis, the city is weighing new beach rules, including bonfires. The Lewis Parks and Recreation Commission will review a letter urging a ban on beach bonfires, citing smoke, health risks, and environmental concerns like hot coals dumped near the bay. And we're just getting started this morning on CoastTV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, beach access update. Which ones are open at Bethany Beach after last week's nor'easter forced several closure?
Also, Delmarva gas price drop as the U.S. is approaching $3 a gallon, what people on the peninsula pay at the pump.
And FAA approves increase. How much Boeing can manufacture after a door blowout forced a cap on production? Also, there was First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. He's in the Weather Center, and we check in with him. That's next on CoastTV News Today.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. It was a gorgeous weekend. We had some milder temperatures yesterday, but a cold front pushed through overnight, bringing showers. Those showers have come to an end as we take a live look into Laurel. 57 degrees there. Temperatures holding steady in the mid to upper 50s through the morning, 58 by around 10 a.m. There's the last of the shower activity. Pushing off the coast, we are drying out. Some few sprinkles and showers pushing into Kent County. Cold front is pushed off the coast, and that pushed through overnight. We had some pretty gusty winds overnight, gusting upwards of 35, near 40 miles an hour. Right now, winds are out of the west, gusting to 23 in Indian River Inlet. We're at 57 in Long Neck, 58 in Lewis, and 56 in Seaford. It was a mild weekend, as I mentioned. We were up to 75 yesterday. It was beautiful ahead of that cold front. For today, not as warm as yesterday, but still not that bad of a day, with temperatures in the mid-60s through Lewis, Rehoboth, and Dewey Beach, Ocean City as well. But it's going to be a breezy afternoon with those west winds gusting upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour. We will talk about slightly milder temperatures into our Tuesday coming up in my full forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. In Delaware, the Division of Motor Vehicles says it is now accepting applications from businesses interested in becoming a third-party CDL testing organization. If approved, the organization conducts skill exams for people applying for a commercial driver's license. The third-party organization will maintain its own basic control skills site that meets state and federal standards.
Got a heads up for drivers on Route 1 near Milton. Starting October 27th, DelDOT says crews will install pavement markings and signs to reconfigure crossovers on Route 1 between the Broadkill River and Red Fox Lane. According to DelDOT, this will improve safety by reducing conflict points during the work. Drivers should expect delays due to lane closures. Federal Aviation Administration is giving Boeing the green light to boost production of its 737 MAX jets. The FAA had capped output at 38 planes a month, following a door panel blowout on an Alaska Airlines flight in January of 2024. Regulators said Boeing can now increase production to 42 aircraft per month.
Well, the showers have cleared out from the overnight, and we are looking at sunny conditions through the morning and afternoon. A cool, breezy Monday with highs in the mid-60s. We'll talk about a slightly milder Tuesday ahead of another cold front that's going to bring some cool, dry weather to end the week. We'll talk all about it right after the break.
Time is 6:15. We're getting a live look at a windy Roosevelt Inlet and Lewis. You can see the flags there blowing out towards the Delaware Bay. But Chris, now that the rain has moved out, how about we just have a nice Monday?
Yeah, in fact, it's going to be very nice. We had a pretty gusty front that pushed through overnight. We saw the last of the showers clear the coast, so we're drying out through much of Sussex County as well as points south and west. See a few sprinkles there moving through Dover, but most of the action is now lifted up to the north and east as the cold front pushed off the coast. We had gusts upwards of near 40 miles an hour overnight. High pressure is going to be building in, and that's going to be sliding eastward. And in doing so, we're going to see a return flow out of the southwest. So we're going to turn a bit milder as we go into Tuesday. 58 into Lewis. We're at 57 Bethany Beach, 57 Redden, and 56 in Seaford. Right now, winds gusting 13, Millsboro 23, Indian River Inlet. We'll see gusts as high as 30, 35 throughout the day today. Now, we have a coastal flood advisory lingering through high tide today in Sussex County. We had some back bay flooding over the weekend. We had some strong southwest winds, not expecting any impacts along the coast. We're looking at small craft advisories up through 2 a.m. off the Delaware coast, and then we'll have them up through about dinner time from the southern portions of the peninsula and in through the Chesapeake Bay. We are at 57 right now in Laurel. Skies are going to be clearing through the morning, plenty of sunshine. 58 by around 10 a.m. on our way to highs in the mid-60s. Gorgeous afternoon, about 10 degrees cooler than where we were yesterday, but nonetheless a pretty nice day with sunny skies, breezy conditions. We fall into the low 40s overnight, clear skies. Winds are going to relax a bit, and that will allow those temperatures to fall a bit lower. By tomorrow, as I mentioned, southwest winds kick back in 70 ahead of a cold front that will bring another round of some rather light showers early Wednesday morning. I think this is out of here by the time you wake up Wednesday morning, and we're looking at another breezy day with temperatures in the mid-60s. So there's those gusts out of the west, anywhere between 29 to 35 miles an hour through the afternoon. They relax a bit overnight, but then they shift out of the southwest into our Tuesday, gusts upwards of 30. Then as we go into Wednesday, behind the front, we'll see more of that west flow return. Average high 68. We're going to be right around there over the 2 of the next 3 days, milder tomorrow, and then notice the drop off as we go into late week. High pressure is going to be building in, and it's going to be really nice. In fact, really from really most of the week is going to be dry, quite frankly, and then we're looking at potentially some frost there Friday morning. We're at 66 this afternoon, sunny skies, breezy conditions, 43 overnight with starry skies, or rather chilly start to our Tuesday, but it's a mild day, 72. That's probably going to be the pick of the week if you like mild temperatures, because the rain holds off until overnight Tuesday into Wednesday as that front pushes through. Wednesday is dry as well, 67 degrees, and then we see that cooler air build in into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We have the big Sea Witch Festival kicking off in Rehoboth on Friday. We're looking very nice for that, 61, and looking pretty dry through the weekend with temperatures holding in the 60s. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. In Alaska, videos and photos show dozens of dogs rescued from Alaskan coastal villages and flown to Bethel after Typhoon Halong. Bethel Friends of Canines, a nonprofit animal rescue, has saved more than 70 dogs since Monday after residents in Kipnuk were told to evacuate and leave pets behind. With the help of air services, including Ryanair, Grant Aviation, and Northern Air Cargo, the group chartered planes to fly dogs about 85 miles to safety. Around 30 dogs have already been reunited with their owners as the organization continues its efforts.
Gas prices are inching lower. AAA says the current national average price for a gallon of regular gasoline could reach the $3 mark for the first time in 4 years. In the past week, the average has dropped more than 5 cents a gallon to $3.05. AAA is reporting the average price in Delaware is at $2.92. It's about 2 cents higher in Sussex County. Maryland's average is $3, with the lower shore counties coming in just below that.
Coming up after the break, storm scene. This is what people in Bethany Beach are seeing after the nor'easter. We have the latest on the beach access situation. Stay with us on Coast TV News today. Last week's nor'easter is keeping Bethany beachgoers away. Take a look at how steep the drop-off is. Several entrances along Bethany Beach have been closed, leaving only a few access points open to the public. And here's what the town is reporting for accessible beaches: Oakwood and Maplewood, Ashwood and Cedarwood, both 4th and 5th Streets. There is handicap access at Ocean View Parkway.
In Ocean City, the Public Works Department is scheduled to continue its hydrant flushing of the water system. According to the town, it will cover several blocks per day, starting on South 1st Street. Public Works personnel are scheduled to perform the hydrant flushing during the late evening hours and early morning hours. With the flushing, there's a discoloration of water that could occur. The department says this is not harmful.
Well, the showers we had overnight have now exited the coast, and we are drying out into Lewis, but it is quite breezy out there. 57 degrees in Lewis with winds out of the west. We'll see some gusts this afternoon, upwards of about 25, 35 miles an hour. We have a coastal flood advisory, primarily for some back bay flooding up to a foot of inundation. That runs through 2 o'clock's high tide cycle. We had some strong southwest winds over the weekend, and that is what prompted that. Small craft advisory for the Delaware coast. This is up through 2 a.m. Tuesday, and then we have the small craft advisory from Ocean City down through Chickateague. That runs through 7 o'clock tonight. Well, we're in for a gorgeous day from Ocean City to Fenwick Island. We're up to 61 by around your noontime. Again, breezy afternoon with those gusts as high as 30, 35 miles an hour. Lewis, we're drying out here, beginning in the mid to upper 50s on our way to highs in the mid 60s with plenty of sunshine. It is a beautiful day in the bay as well. Cambridge, looking at mostly sunny skies there, and a breezy afternoon in Crisfield with that wind coming off the Chesapeake. Temperature around 63 by around 5 o'clock this afternoon. We have Robin West, Frankfort, Delaware. You're the winner of our Coast TV weather umbrella. And as always, you can get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert weather phone. We will talk about a brief mild day tomorrow in the 70s before another cool down late in the week. We'll talk about it in the next half hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, hot coals concern why Lewis is taking another look at its policy for bonfires on its beaches.
Also, family seeks answers after a Millsboro man was detained during an immigration check-in.
And longer wait for short-term rentals. Ocean City Council is going to talk about extending its moratorium today, and we'll tell you for how long.
Now on Coast TV News.
Short-term standstill when Ocean City is getting closer to enacting in its attempt to restrict short-term vacation rentals.
Good Monday morning, Delmarva. We had a pretty gusty cold front that pushed through overnight. We're seeing the last of the showers exit the coast. A bright, breezy Monday, and the latest on a cool, dry stretch of weather to end the week.
Immigration appointment shock. How an asylum seeker who lives in Millsboro is now in a detainment situation.
Smoke sparks controversy. Why Lewis's bonfire policy is getting some pushback.
This is Coast TV News Today.
October 20th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
And we're approaching 6:28 on this Monday morning. And I know it's only Monday, but we are kind of looking ahead to Saturday, the big Sea Witch Parade.
That's an exciting time in Rehoboth Beach. If you want to meet the Matt Pensick, we will be there on Saturday.
Yes, I will be there.
Yes, Matt will be there. Do not worry. We are hoping it's good weather for Matt's hair, though.
I know.
We need to have good weather for that.
The people need to see the hair
They do.
in all its glory.
Chris, come on. We have to make sure that weather is good for Matt, okay?
I'm going to do the best I can. Right now, we are trending in the right direction. This will be my first time at that Sea Witch Parade, so certainly looking forward to that. And I think Mother Nature is going to be cooperating as we get into late week. 56 right now into Laurel. We had a cold front, pretty gusty cold front, in fact, pushed through overnight, and we had some showers overnight. Those have since ended, and we will see partly cloudy skies here over the next few hours, but plenty of sunshine. We're up to 58 by around 10 a.m. this morning. There's the last of the shower activity exiting the coast. The cold front pushed through overnight. You can see it extending off the coast here. Some drier air beginning to filter in, and the system beginning to wrap up and push up into Canada. You can see some heavier rains extending into central PA as well as central and western New York. Gusts right now, well, anywhere between about 15 to 20 miles an hour, and we're going to see those gusts pick up through the afternoon today. We're at 57 in Rehoboth, 56 Milton, 58 Gumboro, and we're at 58 in Bridgeville. So plenty of sunshine through the afternoon with temperatures in the mid-60s. Those gusts upwards of 35 miles an hour. We will talk about some breezy days ahead and slightly milder temperatures into the day tomorrow. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour. Today, the Ocean City Council will have its first reading of an ordinance that extends the town's current short-term rental moratorium until 2027. Back in January, council members enacted an 11-month pause on handing out licenses for short-term rentals in residential neighborhoods and mobile home areas, banning any new licenses from being issued until January 3rd of 2026. The council now wants to extend that moratorium by a full year. Council will meet tonight at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, Lisa, we're going to stay in Ocean City. We're going to stay at about that council meeting because also there they want to restrict where bikes and scooters can go. An ordinance would keep bikes and scooters off the sidewalks at all time except for riders under 16 using a non-motorized bike. First reading of that ordinance creating this ban also tonight, and one person told us he believes this is a win-win.
Keep them on the sidewalks and not on the streets, and hopefully their parents with them and they maintain their safety. Whatever it takes for the kids, keep them safe.
Council also plans to discuss restricting skateboards and roller skates from sidewalks, keeping them on the road instead.
Happening today in Lewis, weighing new beach rules, and a longtime condo owner wants bonfires off of the list. Parks and Recreation Commission will review a letter urging a ban on beach bonfires, citing smoke health risks and environmental concerns like hot coals dumped near the bay.
Yeah, at that same meeting, the Parks and Rec Commission is also reviewing. They could also potentially take action on a proposed aircraft ordinance. Here's what we're talking about with this. This is an ordinance that would prohibit the takeoff, landing, or launching of aircraft on the beach between the Roosevelt Inlet and the ferry. The ordinance says aircrafts include planes, helicopters, ultralight aircraft, and many other machines that are capable of flight, and we're presuming that could mean drones. If approved as is, this ban includes some exceptions for emergencies, the National Guard, and more.
Happening today, work on the Milton overpass continues, causing closures on Route 16. DelDOT says this will be from Monday through Wednesday, overnight from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. to build a bridge for the overpass. The overpass is expected to be finished in spring 2026, according to DelDOT.
Millsboro man, we're going to call him Jose for this, was detained after showing up for a routine appointment with immigration authorities. And according to his family, the man they say, who requested asylum, was told he was missing documents from when he entered the country in 2022. Documents they say still don't know the details of.
Telemundo Delmarva and CoastTV news reporter Ana Sofia Roman spoke exclusively with Jose and his partner.
Hola.
¿Cómo estás, Marita?
Bien, aquí estamos.
A call home from a processing center. That's a reality for many today, including Jose. His partner, whom we'll call Maria out of fear of retaliation, says she found out about Jose's detention after receiving this photo showing his feet in cuffs following a message she sent asking how his appointment went because she hadn't heard from him.
It saddened me that he's going through this process. This was just an appointment, nothing more, like he's always done since he arrived here in the United States.
Maria says she's had to ask for help to keep going day by day, especially with transportation, since she doesn't drive, and that was something she depended on Jose for.
I'm learning to live like this, adapting to the change, because my son needs a lot of attention. I'm alone with him. Sometimes I feel like I can't do it, but I have to keep going.
CoastTV News spoke exclusively by phone with Jose, who is detained in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania, where he says everything is chaotic.
Right now, what I fear most, and some of us here do too, is that it's like a source of infection because there are doctors and all. But they just ask questions. They don't run tests. People come and go. Lately, you hear a lot of people getting sick, coughing through the night.
¿Qué más usted anhela en estos momentos?
My family, that is there with you. And it's frustrating not being able to be with them because you follow your process to avoid cases like this. But still, I'm here, like many others.
Maria says their son smiles when he hears his dad's voice over the phone.
He's always been very loving with my son and gives him lots of kisses and hugs before bed, but now he can't, and I feel like my son is missing that, having his dad here.
Maria adds that Jose came to the United States in search of a better life.
I hope he gets out soon because he doesn't deserve to be there. He's not someone who's harmed anyone.
When and if Jose will be freed is unclear. For now, it's a family anxiously waiting to be together again. In Millsboro, Ana Sofia Roman, CoastTV News.
And we are told Jose is expected to have his first appearance in immigration court soon.
As we move on, multi-mile car crash leads to a Harbison man being arrested with cocaine, an ice pick, thousands of dollars, and a pepper ball gun. Here's what we know. Troopers are telling us that they were dispatched Saturday afternoon to a business complex in Harbison for a man who seemed under the influence or medically ill. Troopers say when they approached the driver, he drove away erratically and continued to do so for several miles on several roads. And troopers say they finally caught up to the driver after using stop sticks on Gravel Hill Road. At that point, they say the man identified as Ryan Doniker got out of the car with the pepper ball gun. He dropped it on command. He was found with those aforementioned items and was arrested.
President Donald Trump says the Gaza ceasefire is holding despite dozens of fatalities during fighting yesterday. Analysts say that violence shows the truth between Israel and Hamas is fragile.
Yeah, they say getting to phase 2 of Trump's Gaza plan, it won't be possible if the ceasefire in phase 1 doesn't hold. Amy Kiley reports on how the U.S. is responding to the tenuous situation.
Want to go and check on how things are going?
Vice President J.D. Vance says an administration official likely will head to Israel soon. That's after violence between Hamas and Israel in Gaza yesterday.
This ceasefire is basically a bit tenuous.
2 Israeli soldiers are among the dead. Gaza hospitals say more than 40 people died in subsequent airstrikes.
There are going to be fits and starts. Hamas is going to fire on Israel. Israel's going to have to respond.
Vance says the region needs peacekeepers, and several nations are willing to help.
The only problem is those countries don't want to go in when the Israelis are still fighting in the area.
Sources familiar with the plans for a U.S. delegation say 2 officials who helped broker the ceasefire deal might be involved. Their special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, and Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner.
Hamas right now is doing exactly what you would expect a terrorist organization to do, which is to try to reconstitute and take back their positions. The success or failure of this will be if Israel and this international mechanism is able to create a viable alternative.
A senior Israeli official says Gaza humanitarian aid shipments are continuing today after a pause yesterday.
If Israel doesn't want to continue to punish the actual Palestinian civilians that they say are being, held hostage by Hamas too, then you would not really make aid as a weapon.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
And we got a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Locals Week in Ocean City will tell you about the free fun at the Life Saving Museum.
Also, the Birds are back. Got the big-time offensive display that ends the Eagles' slide and earning a 5th win on the season.
And fee hikes on the horizon. Why Dagsboro officials are talking about raising costs for new construction. Stay with us on CoastTV News today.
Well, if you're just waking up, you missed the rain. We had a pretty potent cold front that pushed through overnight that brought some showers to the area. We are drying out right now, but it is quite breezy, especially in lowest 56 degrees there. And it's going to be a rather breezy day on the peninsula. We're up to 58 by around 10 this morning. There was the last of the showers that pushed off the coast about an hour or so ago. Cold front is off the coast as well, and you can see it pushing well offshore now. We had some gusts upwards of 35, near 40 miles an hour across portions of Salisbury and Georgetown late last night. Right now we're seeing gusts anywhere between about 5 to 20 miles an hour, but those winds will pick up upwards of 30 throughout the day today. We're at 57 in Rehoboth, 56 Ocean Pines, 55 Delmar, and we are at 56 in Seaford. Well, it was a rather mild weekend, above average. We got to 71 on Saturday, 75 on Sunday. Not as mild today. We are going to see temperatures back into the mid-60s. With mostly sunny skies. Breezy conditions out of the west, gusting upwards of about 25 to 35 miles an hour, but we will talk about the 70s making a brief cameo tomorrow, and then we're looking at some cooler temperatures by the middle to the end of the week. We'll talk about that coming up in the 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Tonight in Dagsboro, people living there could see an increase in some fees if the town council takes action. Here's what they are looking at tonight. Impact fees. Currently, the town's impact fee is $2,500 for each new residential dwelling unit and increasing permit fees. All new construction having a value of $300 or more needs a building permit.
Rocky times this month for the Eagles. The Birds rolled into October with a 4-0 record and seemingly on track to defend their Super Bowl title. And they lost their next 2 games. On Sunday, it was a chance to right some of the wrongs with a trip to Minnesota. They also had a date with their former QB1, Carson Wentz. Viking fans out in force for this one. The Eagles had a 7-3 lead early second. That's when Wentz gets belted and the ball ends up in the hands of Jalex Hunt. He is rumbling 42 yards for a touchdown, making it 14-3 Eagles. The next time Wentz has the ball, he does it again. This time it's Andrew Makuba with the interception. Still in the second quarter, how about the Eagles' current QB1? Jalen Hurts fires downfield to Devontae Smith. He gets away. It is a 79-yard house party. One of 3 touchdown passes on the day for Hurts. The Birds snapped the slide with a 28-22 win, and they upped their record to 5-2. Got some trouble for Washington. A big game in Big D for Dak Prescott. The Cowboys quarterback threw 3 touchdown passes against the Burgundy and Gold. Washington doubled up, 44-22. They've lost 3 of their last 4. They dropped to 3-4 on the season. They got a Monday night game next week in Kansas City. Here's what's coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network. At 8, we've got the Governor's Challenge selection show, and then at 10:30, it's the final score. DSN app, you also get that selection show, and then here are your exclusives. 4 o'clock, Delmarva Christian at Delmar, that's boys soccer. Got girls soccer. We got Bayside Conference Championship game soccer at 5. At 5:30, St. George's is at Brandywine and girls volleyball. Then we have the boys soccer championship game in the Bayside Conference. That's at 6:45.
Music and movie news now. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
She's very troubled. She's running from this insane past.
Brandy is apologizing for a health scare that caused her to abruptly end a weekend show. The performer posted on Instagram she experienced dehydration and feelings of wanting to faint before leaving the stage in Chicago Saturday night to seek medical attention. She thanked her fans for their love, support, and prayers.
He has lost and he is desperate.
Walton Goggins has joined the cast of the action thriller Painter, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Amber Midthunder stars as a young woman with a particular set of skills who will need those skills to rescue her kidnapped father. Goggins plays the dad in distress. No word when the film is due in theaters.
Chihiro, we're almost there.
The Hayao Miyazaki classic Spirited Away is back in theaters through Wednesday as part of Studio Ghibli Fest 2025. Locations and showtimes at fathomentertainment.com. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com/signup and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Hope you had a great weekend, but we got to get through that Monday, and we can do it together. If you join us today at 4 on Coast Life, we're going to be chatting with our friends at Custom Fit 360. I know this is where the time of year that doing your workout routine gets difficult. They've got some ways to keep you at it. Plus, we've got our joke jar. Today, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. We'll take you behind the scenes for some of our bloopers and jokes that happen on set here of Coast Life. And if you're an outdoors enthusiast, you've been ready to take to the road in an RV, you don't want to miss the Ocean City RV Show. All of that and more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Well, it's a damn start to our Monday. We had some showers overnight. Those have since exited. We're looking at a sunny, breezy day, slightly milder a day into Tuesday, ahead of another cold front that will bring another round of showers. We'll talk all about it coming up after next.
The time is now 6:47 and we are taking a live look outside at Lewis this morning. Chris, we heard rain earlier in the morning. Hopefully we're done with the rain today. No more rain. We need some sunshine on this Monday morning.
And we're going to get plenty of it. We're going to continue the sunshine theme. Won't be as mild as where we were at yesterday, but if you're just waking up, you missed the rain. We had a pretty gusty front that pushed through overnight. Didn't really amount to much rainfall across Delmarva. It was a brief round of some showers and some gusty winds. There's the cold front pushing off the coast as this area of low pressure wraps up and pushes up through northeastern portions of Canada and the northeast. High pressure building in, and that's going to settle over us over the next day. And then we're going to see a return flow out of the southwest into Tuesday, and that's going to allow for some milder weather. 56 right now in Milford. We're at 56 Dagsboro, 57 Rehoboth, and 58 in Ocean City. Winds right now, we've seen some gusts upwards of 25, 30 throughout the morning, 17 in Indian River Inlet, 11 in Millsboro, but the winds are going to pick up throughout the morning. We do have a coastal flood advisory for Sussex County, some back bay flooding possible to continue. This is carryover from the weekend, and that is up through the high tide cycle this afternoon. Small craft advisories are up for the Delmarva coast, and those run through generally about the evening time frame as well as the bay. We are seeing dry conditions in Ocean City after a few showers this morning. 58 degrees, plenty of sunshine through the morning as we're up to about 58 by around 10 a.m. On our way to highs in the mid 60s, 64 Lewis, 66 Georgetown. See a high of 64 Vienna, 66 in Salisbury, and 66 in Ocean City. There's those clear skies through the afternoon, looking very nice. A chilly night, clear skies. Winds will relax a bit, and that's going to allow temperatures to fall into the lower 40s to start our Tuesday. But we warm up pretty nicely. A breezy, mild day with temperatures in the lower 70s ahead of another cold front that's going to bring another round of some showers, maybe even a rumble of thunder early Wednesday morning, because by sunrise those showers are off the coast. It's going to be a rather breezy stretch over the next 3 days with gusts 30-35 this afternoon out of the west. We turn those winds out of the southwest ahead of that front Tuesday with, again, some gusts 25 to 30 miles an hour, and then behind the front we'll see those winds shift out of the west. So a breezy Wednesday with temperatures in the mid 60s. We're looking at a high of 72 tomorrow, average high 68. We fall to 67 Wednesday, and then some cool air arrives mid to late week as high pressure builds in. We're looking at highs in the low 60s Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe some morning frost there Friday morning. So highs today 66 degrees, sunny skies. We're at 43 overnight, a chilly start to our Tuesday, 72 degrees, and we're looking at highs low to mid 60s for the rest of the week, looking pretty dry as we round out the week. 61 on Friday as we kick off the big festival there in Rehoboth Beach. Sea Witch kicking off, looking pretty good through the weekend with highs in the 60s. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. Ocean City Museum Society is inviting people to take part in their annual Locals Week. It's happening now through the 26th, and during the week, admission will be free for people living on Delmarva at both the Ocean City Life Saving Station Museum and the Museum of Ocean City. Celebration kicks off with a Station 4 tour. That's today at 10 a.m. That's at the Life Saving Station Museum, and visitors can travel back in time to learn about the storm warriors and the history of the United States Life Saving Service.
It is 6:51, and we are going to check in with our coastal pets of the day today.
Yeah, we got two of them. Look at these two small pups. They got big personalities. On your screen, we got Purdy and Sassy Pants. As you can tell just from their names, these dogs keep their family on its toes. Purdy and Sassy Pants were submitted to us by Lyndon in Frankfurt.
I love the name. So we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
That is where the QR code is. Top center, scan it. That allows you to get your friends to Coast TV News and then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 6:54, and here are the things you need to know before you go. Happening today, work on the Milton Overpass continues, causing closures on Route 16 in a matter of hours. DelDOT says this will be Monday through Wednesday, overnight from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. This will build a bridge over the bypass. The overpass is expected to be finished in spring 2026, according to DelDOT.
Happening today in Lewis, weighing new beach rules, and a longtime condo owner wants bonfires off the list. Parks and Recreation Commission is reviewing a letter urging a ban on beach bonfires, citing smoke health risks and environmental concerns like hot coals dumped near the Delaware Bay.
Today, Ocean City Council will have its first reading of an ordinance that extends the town's current short-term rental moratorium until 2027. Back in January, council members enacted an 11-month pause on handing out licenses for short-term rentals in residential neighborhoods and mobile home areas, banning any new licenses from being issued until January 3rd of 2026. The council now wants to extend that by a full year.
Tonight in Dagsboro, people living there could see an increase in some fees if the town council takes action. Here's what they're looking at their Monday meeting. Impact fees. Currently, the town's impact fee is $2,500 for each new residential dwelling unit. Also, they're looking at increasing permit fees. All new construction having a value of $300 or more currently needs a building permit.
So it was a really nice weekend. I know you
Yeah.
did some running. You didn't make it to
I
the
did
beach.
my at-home tailgate.
All right.
So I had burgers, brats, Penn State football. The first two were great. The latter, not so much. But that's another story for another time.
Yeah, we had a pretty gusty front that pushed through overnight, and that has now cleared the coast. We're seeing the showers come to an end. A really nice afternoon, a breezy day, 66. Milder, 72 into our Tuesday ahead of another front. So we'll see another round of showers late Tuesday night through early Wednesday morning. And then we're going to dry things out Wednesday, 67, but rather breezy through Wednesday. And then high pressure builds in late week. We're looking at highs in the low 60s and a really nice autumn stretch and dry stretch of weather to round out the week. Could see maybe some morning frost there Friday, and then looking pretty nice for the big Sea Witch Festival there in Rehoboth, kicking off Friday, and then we'll see our next chance of some more unsettled weather early next week.
That looks great,
Yeah.
Chris. Yes, those
You
temperatures.
Go ahead.
Well, no, you.
I was going to say, are you wearing a hat for Sea Witch? I know that it might be in play.
I don't know. You might wear your cowboy hat.
I'm debating
Very
that.
famous cowboy
Or
hat.
I might have another one.
Oh,
So stay tuned. That gives you more reason to attend.
Exactly. Meet Matt and see his surprise hat. Sounds.
First
like a
experience, my first ever Sea Witch Festival.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this.
Yeah.
You'll have a good time.
Keep that good weather up, that's for sure. Well, thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News today.
Yeah, the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on when it's up and running again, you can download our Coast TV news and weather apps. There might be an issue over that big web outage that we told you about at the top of the hour. Till Coast TV News midday at 11, have a great Monday morning, everybody.